So this begins my quest to not be a perfectionist. And with that being said, here are no more quantifiers. What I want to talk about today is my predictions for Donald Trump becoming president. I remember very distinctly sitting in a restaurant with my best friend and watching whatever news was on the TV. I can't remember if it was CNN or Fox. I think it was probably Fox. And I remember talking to my friend about how Donald Trump was actually the guy to bet on. And he was in no way, shape, or form convinced. He didn't like the rhetoric. And he just didn't like Trump personally. I tried to swing him, but he ended up voting for Gary Johnson, a real solid candidate. But obviously he wasn't going to vote for Hillary Clinton. And I remember telling him that I couldn't believe that Trump was going to win the election. So I was pretty confident for a long time that Trump was going to win, but it's not because I knew he was going to win based off evidence or polls or even the things I'd heard, because I hadn't heard great things. But I thought he was going to win because I couldn't imagine a world where Hillary Clinton was president. That was pretty naive of me, I'm not going to lie. Not trying to say this like I'm some kind of prophet. But I honestly couldn't imagine this vile, corrupt, extremely underqualified, and extremely easily provable, hypocritical, authoritarian, just awful woman becoming president. And so I remember sitting in that restaurant with him and telling him that I can't believe that Donald Trump will lose. Then I went on to qualify it with if all Donald Trump does is kill PC culture, he will be a great president in my eyes. Because there's nothing more dangerous than PC culture. There's nothing that's a more imminent threat to the freedom of ideas than the oppression of ideas. I mean, it just is self-evident. There's tons of examples throughout history, or you could even say that history is the example that are trying to oppress something like speech just doesn't bear very good fruit in the long run. So I don't know why you would ever bow down to some people that would say, you can't say that. Why not? It's a word. And the truth to that is they've imbued this power into these words that cripple them. You know, when you're a younger kid, you're taught sticks and stones may break your bones, but words will never hurt me. And it's not because the words can't hurt you, it's that you don't let the words hurt you. Now, that's the real lesson of that phrase. Because of course words can hurt. I mean, if my best friend walked up to me and told me that I truly believe that you're a terrible person and I can no longer be friends with you, man, that would cut deep. That would cut super deep and it would hurt extremely bad. But if some random person walks up to me or one of my coworkers walks up and says that to me, yeah, it might sting a little bit more from the coworker, but I'm not going to let it hurt me. So when people say you can't say these words or you can't have these thoughts, they're trying to control your thoughts. So before I get too rambly, PC culture is the most toxic threat I see to American democracy. And I guess I just have this poll pulled up to show how wrong people were. And we're not talking like a little bit wrong. Like, we're not talking Donald Trump hit that 15% chance. We're talking they were way wrong. Catastrophically wrong. Like, started from the top, and then she just dropped to 0 wrong. And I just don't understand how things could have got so out of touch, out of whack. I mean, I do get it, but it's just not good, is what I'm trying to say. So, anyway, my thoughts on Trump is the only thing I want from him is to destroy PC culture, which he has by far and large done a great job at. He is constantly knocking at it, and that's really all I care about. I actually think Tulsi Gabbard is a great presidential candidate. But is that what we need right now? Not really. Like, I really respect how poised she is and how she served in the military. And God, I love the fact that she's anti-war, specifically anti-regime change war, anti-war on drugs, and what was the other position she held? Oh, and she's for prison reform. Man, those are things I can get behind. But would she stand up like Donald Trump stood up? I don't know. Maybe she's doing a good job of kicking Hillary in the teeth right now. So there's points to be made about that. But I vehemently disagree with almost every single one of her actual policies, other than those 3 points. So Tulsi is definitely someone I could get behind if I were ever a Democrat, but definitely not one of those. But I think that Trump tweeting all these obnoxious and bombastic and just even personal attacks, like, man, it's great. I love it. I want more of it. And little fun fact about me, I was actually kicked off Twitter for a long time because I refused to delete a tweet where Leslie Jones specifically said that she wanted to punch Ben Carson in the face. And my response was, well, seeing as you're a man, it'll be perfectly fine for him to punch you back in the face. Oh man, it was great. They told me I had to delete my tweet if I wanted my Twitter back. And I eventually deleted it years later just so I could see what my Twitter was up to, basically. Yeah, so here we go. Sorry, she didn't specifically say that she wanted to punch Ben Carson in the face, but she did say she wanted to fight Ben Carson. Cash me outside. I mean, she doesn't even use the correct phrase, which is really frustrating. So, but whatever. This very talented, beautiful individual who's very funny and just so happy she contributed. Just wonderful, wonderful dialogue to the conversation instead of being bombastic and rude and boorish, or even maybe even a little bit of a bully, like some people we know are like that. Just really virtuous of her. And so yeah, I was told that I was not allowed to have access to my Twitter until I deleted that tweet. So it was they didn't ban me. I just couldn't do anything on Twitter until I deleted that tweet. Which is quite frankly ridiculous. I didn't call to violence. Anything. Just said that, she should be ready to get punched in the face if she fights Ben Carson because, she's a man. I mean, I'm sorry. Beautiful woman of color who I respect very much because she is so intelligent and has only offered good things to the dialogue. That's what I meant to say. Sometimes I have slip-ups. I'm sorry about that. So back to the real story. If Twitter can deplatform you for silly things like that, or Facebook can delete you, and that's the worst part, is they can technically be like, well, we didn't even ban them. They just need to remove some insensitive tweets, and then they have full access to their Twitter again, or their Facebook again. And it's like, wow, man. That's some swampy stuff right there. If you want to know what the swamp is, that's the swamp. That's language jujitsu for you. Just effectively taking people out without causing so much as a stir. That's what I need Donald Trump to do. I need him to take out that PC culture. Now, if he wants to do some other things that I like along the way, please be my guest. Like, GDP growth, that's great. Keeping our borders secure, that's fantastic. Pulling us out of wars, my God. Do it. And also, I just have a question. If anybody is more educated on this subject, I don't understand why people are so upset about our troops going to Saudi Arabia. I imagine they're not going to be fighting there. Honestly. Like, I don't think they're going to be in combat. I could be wrong. I haven't looked it up at all. I haven't heard anybody report on what they're actually doing in Saudi Arabia other than protecting oil fields. But it sounds like they're going to Saudi Arabia to sit on their asses and get paid a fat check for it. Like, man, if we want to rent out our military like that, I don't see any problem with it. Like, we've got the best military in the world. Like, let's bring in a little revenue. I'm okay with that. Like, make the Saudis pay. Jeez. I mean, what could be better